Now that's just what I am. And for this Yankee nation, I do not give a damn. I'm glad I fought again, I only wish we'd won. I ain't asked any pardon for anything I've done.
The Confederate flag controversy is not as new as media outlets tend to describe it. In reality, it is a symbol that has been debated for over 200 years. In 2015, a tragedy occurred in the city of Charleston. 9 church members of African American descent were shot and killed by white gunman Dylan Roof. Roof allegedly did this as a means of purifying the nation. He heavily promoted the Confederate flag. This racial hate crime sparked a debate on removal of the flag from Capitol grounds. The modern variant of the Confederate flag was the battle flag used by the Confederacy in the American Civil War. It was used throughout the entirety of the war, from 1861 to 1865. After the war, many former Confederate states incorporated the battle flag into designs for their state flag upon rejoining the Union. South Carolina chose to fly the Confederate flag in its capital. In 2000, South Carolina citizens gathered around the Capitol and protested the flag. The state came to an agreement and decided to move the flag onto a different location rather than get rid of it altogether. In 2015, debate reignited when Roof, a supporter of the Confederate flag, shot and killed 9 African American individuals in Emmanuel African Methodist Episcopal Church. After this tragedy, from June 18th to June 26, 2016, a content analysis was conducted on 10 articles each from the New York Times and Washington Post. The newspapers commonly employed a conflict frame when describing this event. This type of framing occurs when the story emphasizes 2 opposing sides of an issue. In this case, one side insisted that the flag was a historical point of pride, while the other argued that it was oppressive.
But where we see that symbol lifted up as an inspiration for hate, as an inspiration for violence, that symbol has to come down. That symbol must be removed from our state capitol.
Because 9 people lost their lives in a church in Charleston, which I'm not downplaying at all, still a tragedy, has nothing to do with that flag standing up there.
Government officials were forced to pick a side in both papers.
As a state, we can survive, and indeed we can thrive, as we have done, while still being home to both of those viewpoints. We do not need to declare a winner and a loser here. We respect freedom of expression, and that for those who wish to show their respect for the flag on their private property, no one will stand in your way. But the State House is different, and the events of this past week call upon us to look at this in a different way.
Figures on either side ranged from government officials to everyday people.
I'll have to acknowledge the flag has always represented more than just ancestral pride.
What the Confederate flag stands for is not slavery. In fact, the Democratic Party and the American flag stand more for slavery than the Confederate flag did. The flag we're talking about was the battle flag. It didn't fly over any Confederate buildings. It was taken into battle, and anyone who is at all familiar with military history will notice that the South is rather overrepresented in the heroic annals of American military history. It's about the proud warrior culture of the South, both blacks and whites.
I decided to do something politically incorrect. I decided to remove the flags.
Many Southerners felt that the flag was a symbol of identity. Many argued that it was an honor to their ancestors and that its pro-slavery associations were irrelevant to the current day because slavery has been abolished. Yet for others, this symbol was a reminder of slavery and the African American struggle.
I feel that the flag representation was something that was may have been positive, which is what they call heritage, that was turned to a negative aspect. That negativity continued on from generation after generation.
Any white person I know, we're not okay with it. We're not okay with this.
Ho, ho! That racist flag has got to go.
I find that flag offensive. I find that symbol a symbol of hatred and oppression and violence against an entire race of people. That's disgusting. That isn't my heritage. That may technically be the history of my people, but I'm not going to celebrate it.
As a consequence of framing this event into 2 sides, readers miss the bigger picture. By framing this controversy so that there are only 2 well-defined sides, Newspapers ignore that this is only one part of a larger issue of systemic racism.